Let's settle for tonight's stories. The Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Investment Promotion Center, and auditing firm Ernst & Young have stepped up an educational campaign to reduce the negative impact of transfer pricing on the country. According to tax partner at Ernst & Young, Isaac Nketia, Ghana loses about $2 billion every year to non-compliance with international companies on transfer pricing rules. He spoke to Joy Business on the sidelines of a meeting with regulators in Accra.
Of transfer pricing has been a major challenge to the revenue mobilization process of the country. Though the country has been making progress in getting some international operators comply with the law, there is still a gap in the compliance process since many companies are still yet to understand and comply. Tax partner at Ernst & Young, Isaac Nketia, said Ghana loses an estimate of $2 billion annually from non-compliance.
Are you complying? Are you paying the right price? And if everybody understands what the right price is, then we believe we can get people to pay.
To what extent is it affecting our revenue collection?
It is estimated that Ghana loses about $2 billion every year, due to transfer pricing. And we think it's a serious issue because government needs the revenue to develop the country. And if we're losing $2 billion every year, then it is critical. And that's why the commissioner of late has resorted to doing a lot of TP audits. And day in, day out, they are uncovering so many things. So it is time that we have to take this in seriously and begin to talk about them publicly.
He has also been explaining how the situation can be prevented.
This is actually what we have termed a meet the regulator. What EY does is that from time to time, we bring together regulators of industry to think through topical issues that affect everybody. And with that, we believe we can get everybody to talk on the same wavelength so that businesses will grow. And it's our belief that if businesses get better, everybody gets better. The nation, you and I, everyone gets better. So this transfer pricing is not a new thing. It's been with us since time immemorial. But of late, if you have been listening to what the civil society organizations have been saying, especially Oxfam and in our own country, ISODEC, many companies are not paying the right taxes that they have to pay.
The meeting is a collaborative initiative to deepen the understanding of key regulators and businesses on the transfer pricing rules. Ibn Sabote's report for Joy Business.
We did not introduce new security features on upgraded banknotes because of serious counterfeiting. That's coming from the Bank of Ghana. My colleague George Affe has been engaging some officials of the central bank on this and has this story for us.
There have been reports that the 50 banknotes as well as other high denominations have come under serious attack from counterfeiters, forcing the central bank to upgrade the current notes with new security features. But speaking to Joy Business ahead of currency management at the Bank of Ghana, John Jemfi said that is not the situation on the ground.
Most countries, on average, will change the entire family, those who have the means, every 7 years. That is on average. But then they will change it if the currency was under threat. Fortunately, we use the same international standards to monitor ours. And we have a benchmark of 100 counterfeit notes per million in circulation as our benchmark that when we hit, then we have to introduce a whole new family or do a major upgrade.
Then if the level of counterfeiting wasn't threatening, then some would say that was it then necessary to introduce this upgrade again, looking at whatever minimal cost that will come to it?
So I have told you that it's a normal exercise we do periodically. 2 years, 3 years, monitoring our stocks, and then as the currency comes back to Bank of Ghana and we process. We see some are too weak, some are crumpled, with a lot of graffiti, with sellotapes across, with holes in them, with the edges of the banknotes teared off. Those ones we think that if they stay in circulation, our reputation is at stake.
He has also been speaking about why the 2 and the 5 Ghana cedi notes were not upgraded.
2 Ghana cedis and the 5 Ghana cedis with the portrait of Kweji Agri came in or were introduced as commemorative banknotes to start with.
So let's stay on this a while. What are these new security features on the banknotes that have been introduced? George Afe has been engaging head of currency processing at the Bank of Ghana, Dominic Owusu.
First of all, you want to make it easier for identification, to differentiate, and also if there is a way of being able to imitate one, it doesn't become easy to imitate the same shape across.
Okay.
So there's always the need to differentiate the images on the different denominations.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, it also has the shiny patch at the back, which also makes it very authentic.
Let's go to 50 Ghana cedi note.
Now the 50, in the same way, it also has now is the cocoa pod. So the spark feature is in the shape of the cocoa pod, but you know, on the old one or the existing one, the cocoa pod is on the right side. But for consistency with the family, it is now at the lower left side. And when you also tilt the note forward and down, forward, backwards, you see that the gold bar across it also moves. And then when you tilt it and let it stay, it changes green.
Okay.
And in taxation, they'll say you don't spend a lot of money to go for those taxes that are small in nature. Do I get the understanding that as the denomination goes higher, the upgrade is also upgraded, quote, a little bit to be more sophisticated?
So it's clear that the lower denominations, which is the 1 and the 5, they don't have these spark lives. So the higher you go, the more expensive the face value is. It's more of a higher value. So you have to put in more security to make it more authentic and more difficult to replicate or counterfeit.
So these are the notes that we've tried to go through: the 50 Ghana cedi note, the 20, the 10, the 5. Interesting features, one would say. And the 50, 20, 80, 885 Ghana cedis, 86, and that is what, 96. I'm not taking it away, right?
I guess not.
Okay, so Mr. Dominic that was explaining to us. Thank you so much for the education, and that's what we've walked you through to appreciate those features about this note. I hope you've been educated.
You're watching Business Live. Now, 10,000 startups will next month benefit from a training program under the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan. The training, which forms part of plans to strengthen the foundation of businesses, will include financial management, among other modules. John Kumar is CEO of the NEIP.
We have a fund of $100 million to support startups in the country. Already last year we trained 7,000 startups and we funded 1,350. This year already we have 10,000 applications from startups who want support. We are going to train all these startups throughout the country and also fund most of them who have viable business ideas.
How many beneficiaries are there so far?
1,350. This year we are looking to do up to 3,000.
Okay, and how much has gone to them in total?
Maybe 50 million.
50 million. So this training starts next month. What exactly does it entail?
It entails basic knowledge on how to start your own business, how to run it, your financial knowledge, your marketing strategy, sources of funding, not just government. Like I'm telling startups, don't go to microfinance. Look for angel investors. Look for NEIP. At worst, go to the bank, but not a microfinance. You kill it. So we take you through processes for you to understand other opportunities, tax holidays. How do you apply? What can you do to reach your customers? Access to market. A number of models are developed to train them.
Let's move on now, and the Institute of Directors Ghana has hinted of its intention to develop a mechanism to monitor corporate governance practices across the country. Now, speaking to Joy Business, the president of the Institute, Roxin Dogwega, said the initiative will come with severe sanctions for organizations that fail to comply, like naming and shaming of directors who indulge in bad corporate governance practices at the workplace. He spoke to Joy Business at a gala dinner as part of the Institute's corporate governance conference organized in Accra. Bismarck Awisa reports.
We are also advocating for the need to have a corporate governance barometer developed. And we're going to be doing this with support from IFC, that is International Finance Corporation. I can say that we are striking the right chords, and we believe that with the appetite of government to champion good corporate governance, to industrialize, to lead this country out of poverty, we will succeed, because we see the passion, the enthusiasm, the call on all not to be spectators. We will, as citizens, be partakers. We will get involved, and I, OD Ghana, will lead the campaign for change.
So you want to tell us more about this corporate governance barometer?
The corporate governance barometer will be a mechanism instituted to gauge the corporate governance fever in the country at any point in time. So it will tell how companies and organizations are performing as far as corporate governance is concerned. So whether they are abiding by the principles and practices will be reflected when we develop this code, and then the companies respond to it.
So will there be any sanctioning measures put in place to ensure that it's not just about naming and shaming, but as well dealing with directors who don't indulge in good corporate governance?
Yes. In fact, under the current bill, directors are encouraged to name and shame colleagues who are not doing the right thing in the boardroom. So that window has been created in the new bill. So if you're director, you're not doing the right things, your colleagues are supposed to report you, and that is good.
When should we expect this barometer come to full fruition?
We are still working on it. We're hoping that by the end of the year, we should be able to get the barometer out. We're looking to the corporate world for support and sponsorship. We cannot do this without resources. We want to call on all corporate organizations to lend their hand to support the good cause.
And well, you heard my colleague Bismarck Awusa speak with the president of the Institute of Directors Ghana, Roxin Dogwega, managing director of Multi TV here at the Multimedia Group. Santokh Singh was one of the many top executives inducted as honorary fellows of the Institute of Directors Ghana. Congratulations to him and the others. Now, traders in Kumasi are protesting proposed cost of acquiring or renting shops at the newly constructed KJTL market. A minimum size of 2.2 meter square space is pegged at 7,800 Ghana cedis, with the highest going for up to 48,000 Ghana cedis to be paid over a 5-year period. The traders say they cannot afford what they describe expensive fees and want city authorities to reconsider their decision. Nana Sensu-Mensah reports.
As part of measures ahead of the opening of the market, traders and other stakeholders were engaged on the allocation and prices of the various shops.
I have the special purpose vehicle to meet with the market persons on Tuesday, so to provide this information to them.
We are all natives of Kumasi. This is a government facility, so you should consider with the traders and reduce the price. But at the stakeholders meeting on Tuesday, there were divided opinions among some traders and KMA and members of the special purpose vehicle over the pricing of shops at the newly built KJTL Markets Limited. The least size among the shops, 2.2 meter square, goes for 7,800 cedis, and the highest ranges around 48,000 cedis over a period of 5 years. The traders complain of high prices of the shops. Nana Prempe speaks for the traders.
So far, as we can see from the demeanor of the people who are gathered here, the answers or the response that has been given to us are not satisfactory to us.
But you have been here when the meeting started. You look at the generality. About 80 to 90% of them were so happy of the rate, and they were clapping for the government and myself. So who sits somewhere and say it's so expensive?
6,000 per the table, that is for the petty traders. And look at the kind of trade that we apply in Kumasi here. And you are saying the petty trader is to pay 6,000 at an interest rate of 25% per annum. Indirectly, we are going to work for the bank, and it is not going to benefit with the traders.
Meanwhile, chairman of the Kumasi City Market Limited Board, who doubles as mayor of Kumasi, Oses Benchi, explains management of the market has been generous to the traders.
That is why I said to human beings, we are not equal, and we don't think alike. But generally, we've been very generous to them. You talked about those selling on the tables. You go in there, we have counters, and there are some that even we have gone to the extent of providing them with defracers and all.
All right, let's move away from that to the Joy Business Van because it's a Wednesday. Now, as early as 6 years, Asidu Abudu, or Inventor One, as he's popularly called, knew God had blessed him with an unusual skill creating gadgets and fixing them. Well, today he has gone as far as assembling vehicles, and he's become the talk of social media. And so the Joy Business Van took to the road to locate Inventor One all the way at Adiamra in Sekondi Takrade, that's in the Western region. His story next. Ghana has caught the attention of some of the biggest automobile firms, with some of them announcing plans to establish assembling plants in the country. And now, there's also Kantanka Automobile, Ghana's first automobile manufacturing and assembling company owned by inventor Apostle Kojo Safo. But there's also Inventor One.
But there's the scope in the back and then there's the front. So here is the T and here is the front. You have your headlights, you have your horn. You see the engine before you see the car. So when the car is coming, you just see the engine first. You see, so let him check if the engine is free. So there is the horn. See, you have your...
One by one, Inventor One, his real name, Asidu Abudu, shows me the vehicles he's assembled, like this one, purposely created for construction companies.
This one I use 150 horsepower. The engine capacity is 150, so you can take any load that you want. When you get there, you can trip this thing like this. Then you put it and then you move.
This other one is made for the physically challenged. And my personal favorite, the vintage military vehicle. All these vehicles were assembled on his compound at Adiambra, a suburb of Sekondi Takrade in the Western region where he lives. Asidu naturally loves to create gadgets and fix them. He discovered that as early as 6.
They asked us to design craft work to bring it to school, so I started designing something like a snail, and from there I designed this one, a fufu pandi machine. Okay. From there I designed a crop pot with a fan. So when I sent that things to school, our teachers sent me to Enchi for an exhibition at Enchi. So when I have the Enchi district exhibition, I was the first student. So they take me to Takrade for the whole Western exhibition. So when you came to Takrade regional office, you have another exhibition there. So that one, so I was the first person.
Asidu would then take part in a national competition where he came first as well. How he's able to create devices, Asidu just believes it is God's gift.
Sometimes you just have some dreams, like you are playing with somebody that the person don't know how to design this kind of thing, but your friend will teach you how to do it. My own, that's how the whole thing comes. Yeah. So in the night, in the dream, I just see some of my friends teaching me how to do the thing, but in daytime, my friend don't know how to do it. So after that, in the daytime, I just go for the materials that I saw in the dream. Then I started to come out with something.
He enrolled in the Takoradi Technical Institute, where he studied mechanical engineering to sharpen his skills, and then he began to concentrate on assembling vehicles.
The first thing, we lay the foundation of the car. You have some two metal, let's put it this way, 2 metal. That one, they call it frame. If you have the frame, you start to design your steer system, the way you can turn the steer left and right. That one too is mathematics, because the left side have to be like the right side too. After that, you have to go for your distance. If the car is a back axle drive, you have to start to put your axle. And from that, you have to get suspension, like shocks absorbers. Otherwise, when the car hits in the potholes, the person in it will feel the pain. So you have to design your shocks absorbers. When you have the basic thing that you need in the car, that's 3 things that I have already mentioned. Your front axle, your frame, your back axle, and the steer system. That is the car. Because the body on it, that one is a design. You see, you can pick this, let's say Toyota Land Cruiser body for Toyota pickup. They can use Tundra body to design Land Cruiser. But the basic thing is the engine and the axle, and this is the car.
Asidu makes it sound so easy. Perhaps it is, but typically it takes him a week to complete one vehicle if he has access to spare parts. For now, Asidu makes the vehicles upon request. He plans to venture into mass production, but lacks the required funds. That is his big challenge now.
Ghana here, before bank will give you loan or something like that, you have to sell your house, your cars, everything. But I don't have that kind of thing, so I can't get bank there. I'm not thinking about it, because bank, when they give you money today, tomorrow they want to take the percentage tomorrow, and that's why it's a long-term investment. So I want something like individual, private man, or a government to invest in me, so that I mean to bear my Ghanaian. So if a Ghana government can invest in this thing, I think a lot of Ghanaians too will get work to do now.
No funds yet, but his inventions have made waves on social media, and many people are beginning to believe in the Made in Ghana campaign. But obviously, that is not enough. Asidu tells me he's got many ideas to work on to solve many problems, only if he gets the support.
I have so many ideas that it can help human being in this way. Let me tell you some story. The other time I went to a store to buy a credit, the one that you download on our phones. When I saw the lady who is selling the credit to me, he lost one of his hands, so he can't use the two hands to scratch the card for me. So he tried to use one hand to scratch the card with the wall. So when I see that situation, I want him to design a machine who can scratch the credit card. You see, so that time I found somebody facing some problem, I just tried to come out with the technology that solve that problem.
Here in Adiambra, Asidu is a hero, inspiring so many people in his community.
For Takoradi, exactly, a lot of people know me very well. They know that this is what I can do, so I always say, just call me, Charlie, try your best. One day it will happen.
Inventor One inspiring his community and getting us all excited about the Made in Ghana campaign. Well, that's it for Business Live tonight. There's more news on our website. That's joybusinessnews.com. MTN Nigeria gets listing approval. That's according to securities regulator. You can get more on that plus other stories. What is big on Joy Business? Former GNPC boss punches holes in approved renegotiated AGM deal. That's joybusinessnews.com. My name is Darryl Kwa. Thanks for watching. We're back same time tomorrow.